Hello folks, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to talk about Git commits. So far, we have seen how we can commit our changes by using Git, but going forward, we are going to see how can we do commits from the GitHub and also comparing the Git commits, who has done which changes, who introduced each file and when they have introduced. So these kind of things we are going to check it out from the Git as well as GitHub. So first we'll start understanding about commits on our Git. Anyway, we have already seen how the commits are looks like and how to understand commits. But in this section, I'm going to explain one more time. Then we'll see how we can check same thing on GitHub as well. GitHub nothing but in our remote repository. Let's jump into our project. So this is our project repository. Here we are creating all our repositories and I have opened Git bash over here. If I check PWD, it is current working directory, that is C projects. We are in the same directory. Okay, C project. Next thing, I'm going inside to a project called Docker. This repository I have created to share Docker related information, but I have done multiple commits on this one. So I thought it could be a best example. How can you take this repository on your system? We are going to talk that one in the later point of sessions. But let's see how we can understand about commits. But we can understand about commits if we have more commits. That's the reason I'm taking this repository. And if I check PWD, I'm inside my Git Docker repository. And if I do ls, there are multiple directories and files within this repository. And whether it is a repository or not, if you go inside to your Docker, you can see .git over here. It means that it is a repository. Even you can just check Git status over here. So you can see that this command is working, means it is a Git repository. Now we'll find out the what and all commits we have done on this repository. Before that, if you check on master branch, your branch is up to date with the origin master, which means that all local commits has been updated in the remote repository. I will go onto my GitHub repository as well. So here we have a repository called Docker. So this is the repository we are talking about it. Okay. Anyway, so I have committed it 6 days before as a remedy. And we are going to talk about these commits in the next lecture, but so far we'll talk about over here only. Now if I check git log, okay, 29 commits we have seen, same commits you can see over here. Okay, so this is the latest commit and the latest but one. Like this we have so many commits over here. Okay, and if you see the name, this is initially updated by ARSR319. Okay, that was the my name I have given, and you can see this is a random email ID, which means that I have updated it from the GitHub account itself, not from the Git, nothing but I haven't created files over here. Maybe I have created repository directly over there and updated. That might have done. Next, if I go up and here, if you see Shankar and the email ID which is associated with that email ID. Okay, and if I scroll up again, Ravdi, and this is the again from the GitHub I have updated. Like this, multiple contributors has been added their changes to this repository. I can say so far we have seen 3, right? And this is again Shankar, nothing but previous guy only. Like this, you can see a lot of commits and also who has done that commit and when it was done and what is the commit information. So all this information is appeared over here. Now we need to understand. So now we need to understand what is head. Head always represents to the content which is available in our repository. So these files are related to the latest commit, right? So this commit. So our head is representing to the latest commit, and the files whatever is available over here, those are belongs to this commit. And I can switch to the previous commits as well. Whenever I go to previous commits, my head also going to point to the previous commits, and also I can see the content is going to the previous versions. Okay, nothing but whatever updates I have done in this commit, that commit changes are going to disappear. So for now, just think that head is always represents to the content which we are using in our repository. Now we can compare our latest commit with the previous commit. We have already discussed about that command, that is git diff, right? Sorry, let me quit out of it and git. Let me do git log again because I need to take the latest 2 commits. So quit. So git diff, so this is the command to compare two different commits. So if I check for this commit, so here I can take a complete commit ID, or else first 7 digits also enough, or else if I take more than first 7 digits also fine. Okay, I can take this first commit and this is the second commit. If I compare these two, you can find what are the new changes we have introduced in this latest commit. If you see here, triple minus a stands for it is the latest file, and whatever line starts with minus, it represents to the latest commit. Nothing but these lines are newly added into the latest file, and plus nothing but it was there in the previous commit, now it is not there. It is not there in the current commit, and this is as it is, nothing but there is no change on these lines. Again, here we have added this line, and in earlier it was there, and now these two lines are same. At the same time, these two lines are newly added and this line was deleted. Okay, so this is how we can find out, or we can use git diff command to identify what changes are there. Here whatever is there in the red color, it represents to the latest commit changes. Whatever appears in the green color, those represents to the lines which were there in the previous commit and not available in the latest commit. If it is in white color, which represents that there is no change in these lines. Okay, that is how we can compare the changes. Now let me quit. Now we are going to compare same changes in the other way. Okay, that I'm going to show you. That is git log, right? So if I execute git log, this is the latest commit, and head is pointing to this one. Most of the cases you can see head is pointing to the latest commit, so I can do the comparison with the git diff head minus 1. It is going to be head minus 1. This is head minus 2, head minus 3. Like that we can compare. Now I would like to compare this one and this one. First I will do comparison of this one and this one. Then I will do the first commit, sorry, latest commit, and with previous to previous commit. Okay, let's try that one. If I do git diff head -1. Okay, if I do this one, I should able to see the same content which we have seen in the previous. But here we should not use -1. Here we need to use tilde -1. Okay, please remember that one. I just mentioned -1, so it is easy for us to remember, but it is not minus tilde 1, which represents that previous commit. Now you can see whatever output we have seen in our previous commit, same thing we are able to see. Let me quit of this, and again I'm going to do head -2. Okay, now you can see, so this is the change we could see, which means that in previous to previous commit there was no file called Jenkins Docker file. That is the reason it is saying dev null, nothing but I couldn't find this commit, sorry, I couldn't find this file in my previous commit. So that is how git diff will work. And one more time I'm going to execute, that is clear git log. Now I would like to compare this one with this one. Okay, not with the latest commit, previous to previous commit with the, sorry, 5 commits before. With that commit, I'm going to compare. For that, I just need to quit. And this is the commit I would like to test. So git diff. Okay, this commit, I'm going to give this one. I can give this one, or else I can give the head -2, right? This is head -1, this is head -2 with the head -4. That's also works. If you see the changes, we have changed the CentOS image file. So whatever newly introduced in this commit, those are in the red color. Whatever removed from this commit, those are in the green color. Okay, like this we have done many changes on this file. Okay, so this is how we can compare. As I said, another way to compare is head -2, right? Head, instead of minus we need to use tilde, head -2 with the head -4. Okay, head tilde 4, sorry. So you can see same changes are displaying over here, right? So that is how git diff works, or helps us to find out the differences between the two commits. That's all for this lecture, and see you in the next lecture.